Hey everyone, welcome back to Mystifying Miracles. Today my story is about a 7-year-old boy who gets hit by a bus. And we're going to go through his miraculous story, so stay tuned. It was May 6th, 2011, when the Steele family, they were getting ready on a school and work day, just like normal, like the day always was, kind of crazy in the mornings, getting the kids breakfast, getting them dressed, and getting them off for the school bus. Now, Rachel Steele, she wasn't just a mother. She was also the driver of the school bus, and she had been the bus driver of their local route for Union Grove Christian School. And their three oldest kids, by the names of Angela, Stanley, and Tori, they also rode with Mom on the bus. Well, it was about 7:40 a.m. that day when the bus pulls up to the stop. It was the normal drop-off spot that all the kids knew and were used to, and the older children, they'd get off and they'd go straight into the school, while the younger children actually had to cross over in front of the bus over across the way to this coned off area. And they waited there every morning to wait for their school bell. Once it rang, they went in. Well, Tori, he was one of the ones that had to cross in front of the bus. He was 6 years old. So, he was kind of playing around, crouching down. He was kind of acting like a superhero, just doing what little boys do, right? So he's doing that. He was supposed to go, as I said, straight to the coned off area, but he stopped for a few seconds just to mess around. Well, as Tori was bent down, crouching, messing around, the bus begins to move forward. Now, Angela, one of the older kids, had turned around. She hadn't gone into the school yet. She sees all this happening, within a second. And she takes a quick look at her mom, who's driving the bus, and she realizes her mom has no clue what's going on. So she looks over to Tori and she yells at him. And she screamed for him, lay down flat. She wanted the bus to be able to go over him without running him over, because he was about to get hit. So Tori acknowledges his big sister and hears her, and he does what she says. And it's working, at the beginning anyway. As this is happening, a second later, Tori's under there, and he notices a gap between the front and the back tires. Well, he's trying to scoop his little self in that gap so he doesn't get run over, but Tori was not fast enough. The double back wheels of that bus went right over the midsection of the torso area of Tori. And to put this into perspective here, Tori, 6 years old, he's very slim. He's barely 60 pounds, okay? Apparently a bus can be about 25,000 pounds. That is some scary stuff. Well, Rachel drove right over him, and she's not understanding because she didn't see him still, but she feels the bump, and she's like, oh gosh, what did I just hit or run over? So she stops the bus, she gets out, runs to the front of the bus, and crouches down to look under, and there she sees her son lying, and he's lying beneath the back wheels. Rachel immediately starts running straight for the school, and she's just yelling for anyone, please dial 911, hurry. Several people scramble together. Many adults come out, and they all work together to push this bus off of Tori. In addition, there were staff, parents, and even children gathered around as this was going on, and they all began to pray together. Tori awoke, barely, it didn't say how many minutes after he had actually been run over, but once he awoke, he was conscious, and he had suffered, of course, major bruising and lacerations, 2 broken collarbones, 4 broken ribs, a chipped hip bone, and broken blood vessels all throughout his face and eyes. So his eyes were like bloodshot due to that. For the whole ambulance ride, plus the care flight to Children's Hospital in Milwaukee, Tori was conscious. He never lost that consciousness. Obviously, time was so critical in these coming moments. The Steele family says there were prayers, there were tears, There was emergency surgeries, and of course, meeting upon meetings with surgeons and whatnot in the coming days. So stressful, overwhelming, definitely. In addition, during this time, so many messages, phone calls, emails started to pour in for the family of people all over the globe that were praying for Tori. And the Steele family says to this day that they are sure it was those prayers that saved their son. Also, it turns out that day Tori had been wearing his backpack. So this actually was a good thing because the backpack helped to absorb some of that from the tires of the bus, some of that, the pressure. And miraculously, no organs, none of Tori's organs were harmed. After 8 days in the hospital, Tori was also able to go home. And this part I found amazing as well. When he went home, he didn't go home with one bandage or one cast, nothing. In fact, his broken bones that he did have, they healed so fast that it was hard for the doctor to detect anything, hardly, when he went back for his follow-up appointment. 1.5 weeks after the accident had occurred, Tori finally was able to walk into his classroom to say hello to all his classmates. And at the 2-week mark, he was already back in school. Now, this whole incident did take quite the emotional toll on Tori. But after some time had passed, he was able to recover from that. Once he started on that emotional healing, he told his parents, he told them, quote, "It's not that I want to be run over, but I know God wanted lots of people to hear about Jesus and how to be saved." The family says that Tori has no lasting effects from the accident, except a knowledge of how mighty God truly is. We serve an awesome God. Well, guys, let me know what you thought of the story. I mean, that is quite miraculous. I can't imagine a little 6-year-old being hit with a bus sitting on top of him. Yeah, I haven't heard of any other stories where somebody survived something like that. I'm sure there are a few out there, but that one's pretty amazing. I want to know your opinion though, guys, so let me know in the comments. And I just thank you for watching. I hope this video was a blessing to you, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful week and that you had a fantastic Labor Day. By the time this comes out, that'll probably have been a couple weeks ago, but nonetheless, I hope you guys had a fabulous one, and I'm gonna see you guys for the next one.